Senator Flores, you're recognized for a motion to suspend the regular order of business on Senate Bill 241.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I move to suspend the regular order of business, take up and consider Senate Bill 241. So even with the passage of House Bill 1925 in 2019, which made it a state crime to camp in public location outside of a designated campsite, many places still have open campsites throughout their cities. The burden of cleaning up these campsites has fallen on the state, which results in significant costs for abatement. Additionally, the Attorney General has found it difficult to seek injunctive relief under existing framework. Senate Bill 241 will specify that local entities must investigate and enforce violations of the public camping ban following written complaints. Once a complaint is submitted by the public, the local entity will have 90 days to resolve the complaint. If the local entity does not resolve the complaint within 90 days, the Attorney General shall issue a written declaration that the entity is violating local entity. The bill authorizes the Attorney General or the Department of Public Safety to enforce the ban and allows the comptroller to withhold sales tax for the amount of money that the state spent enforcing the ban. Law enforcement can only take custody of non-hazardous personal property and not structures outside of a tent, such as semi-permanent structures. Local entities may not use designated properties for homeless individuals unless the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs has approved of the plan of designated camping. Senate Bill 241 will make changes in the law that are needed to make it easier for the enforcement of the ban and continue to allow open camping in their jurisdictions. These changes should lead to robust enforcement of the public camping ban. We passed this bill out in the 88th session, and it had bipartisan support. I hope they're able to pass it this session and send it to Governor Abbott. I move suspension.
Senator Menendez, for what purpose?
Questions of the author, Mr. President.
Senator Flores, do you yield for questions?
I do yield.
Senator Menendez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Flores. So this bill, does it do anything to further criminalize the fact that some people are currently unhoused or without shelter?
So currently, under the House Bill of 1925, having to read upside down, let me go ahead and turn this around. It's a Class C misdemeanor. This bill does not further criminalize that. It just merely, what this bill does is to require the cities or the entities to enforce the ban.
So does it do anything, and here's the concern. The city of San Antonio, like all cities, I mean, it's a statewide prohibition. It was already a citywide ordinance where you couldn't have public camping. But what they do currently, they go and they give the people who are living in these encampments, they give them a warning. The current process is, hey, this is going to happen. If you don't move out, pick up your gatherings, take them with you, they're going to come in and they may sweep them out with a mini dozer or something, and you may lose your belongings. And sometimes they help them. Does your bill punish cities or keep them from having a process to which they give people warning, or does it force them to do it on an expedited basis?
So if a complaint is written by a citizen to the city of San Antonio, they have 90 days by which they're showing they're responding.
Okay.
So, and if the state has to go in there, Senator, then TxDOT, for example, goes in there. TxDOT also has a process of notification, as I understand, in dealing with TxDOT. So the main issue here is when you have entities that are just saying, I think Senator Menendez's law is just a suggestion, and we're not going to do it. So all this does is provide a mechanism by which, for example, if you have an encampment in the neighborhood where I stay in Austin, for example, during session, if they're there in the green belt part on the other side of the fence at the house, well, then the citizens there can complain to the city of Austin, for example, and they have 90 days to resolve the issue. And of course, that's all showing that in good faith that they're doing their best to enforce the law, Senator.
Thank you. So what you're trying to do, it sounds like to me, is you're putting in place a state law that says to cities you can't ignore the state law, and if you choose to or you don't have the resources, we'll clean it, but then you need to pay us back. That's what it sounds like?
Basically put, that's it. And if you do have the camping, that it falls within community standards, it's sanitary, et cetera, so which is humane. And it doesn't further criminalize those. It's already a Class C misdemeanor. Or if they find dope when they go through, that's a different issue. All we're saying is enforce the law. And if we have to go do it, then we're going to take it out of your sales tax revenue.
So I hear what you're saying. You're telling me the reason for your law is, one, you don't want them to ignore the law. Two, you don't want neighborhoods to have encampments and the city's not doing anything about them. So people who might be living with an encampment right behind their house, there has to be a balance between the rights of the people who live in their neighborhood, and they have maybe a drainage ditch and the encampments are right behind them. Is that, I guess, what you're trying?
You're exactly correct. A lot of times we forget about the citizens that live in these communities, that they know it's against the law and they get frustrated by the fact that they're still there, and get further frustrated by the fact that their local government perhaps is not responding. And so all this does is says, if you don't respond, you're found, and after 90 days, you're not responding to the citizen's complaint, that if we go in and have to send state resources in there to clean it up, then we just get reimbursed. We take that out of your sales tax reimbursement.
Senator, I understand, and you're not further criminalizing these folks who, many of them through no fault of their own, they may have been foster kids, they may be former veterans, people escaping domestic violence. There's lots of reasons why people are unhoused and unsheltered, and I understand it. I just wish we were doing something to help them find a place, because maybe they have that encampment. We've now said they can't, you can protest a hotel, and I don't feel like we're doing enough as a state to help this community. But thank you for answering my questions, President.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Flores moves suspension of the regular order of business on Senate Bill 241. There is objection. The secretary will call the roll.
Alvarado, Bencourt, Birdwell, Blanco, Campbell, Cook, Creighton, Eckhart, Flores, Gutierrez, Hagenbu, Hall, Hancock.
There being 23 ayes and 7 nays, the rules are suspended. Chair lays out on second reading Senate Bill 241. The secretary will read the caption.
Senate Bill 241 relating to prohibitions on camping in a public place.
Senator Flores, you're recognized for a motion.
So moved.
Senator Flores moves passage to engrossment. There is objection. The secretary will call the roll.
Alvarado, Bencourt, Birdwell, Blanco, Campbell, Cook, Creighton, Eckhart, Flores, Gutierrez, Hagenbu, Hall, Hancock, Hinojosa.
There being 22 ayes and 8 nays, the bills pass to engrossment. Senator Flores, you're recognized for a motion to suspend the constitutional 3-day rule.
So moved.
Senator Flores moves suspension of the 3-day rule. The secretary will call the roll.
Alvarado, Bencourt, Birdwell, Blanco, Campbell, Cook, Creighton, Eckhart, Flores. Does that get it? Yes. Hall, Hancock, Hinojosa, Nueces, Hinojosa, Hidalgo, Huffman, Hughes, Johnson, King, Colcourse, Menendez, Middleton, Miles, Nichols, Parker.
There being 24 ayes and 6 nays, the rules are suspended. Chair lays out on third reading and final passage of Senate Bill 241. The secretary will read the caption.
Senate Bill 241 relating to prohibitions on camping in a public place.
Senator Flores, you're recognized for a motion.
So moved. Final passage.
Senator Flores moves final passage of Senate Bill 241. The secretary will call the roll.
Alvarado, Bencourt, Birdwell, Blanco, Campbell, Cook, Creighton, Eckhart, Flores, Gutierrez, Hagenbu, Hall, Hancock,